Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Jeremy Thevenot. Did I say it correctly?
Close enough. Thevenot.
That's my thing, is I mispronounce everybody's names.
Yeah.
How do you say your name?
Thevenot, Travisnot. It's whatever you want to play with.
And my last name is unpronounceable also. So how are you doing? Good to see you.
Been doing good, man. How are you?
Good. Like we were talking a little bit before we went live, I was saying, a lot of people have been asking to come on the channel. That this is going to sound mean, but it is what it is. Like I'll look at their comics. I'm like, So, but I didn't know who you were, and then you sent me a link. I checked out your art, and I thought it was excellent. So
thank you.
Unfortunately, I don't know your comic. I don't really know, but I just really liked what I saw. So, I'm going to learn it as you tell me everything. So first off, introduce yourself. I'm talking too much already.
Oh, I love it. It helps me guide what to talk about because I'll ramble too. I'm Jeremy Thevenot. I'm otherwise known out here as Zaid Studios. It's a company that me and my older brother have. We game developers turned comic book creator on my side. Dwight's been keeping the game stuff alive and kind of stable since. But I'm out here with a fantasy comic book, and this is my first attempt at doing comic books. I come from a long history of doing art schools, art teachers all the way through high school, and kind of just using art as the sails in my ship of life that may be on fire, but it's still going. So, I'm still out here trying to do it. And, one day my buddy Joe, he's got a campaign launching tomorrow, Star Circuit 2. He's like, dude, you got to do a comic book, so I tried to launch a video game campaign as the first. It got a lot of support for no one knowing who we were. We're coming out of the woodworks, just going, hey, we're out here. And it got a lot of great support, but it didn't reach $64,000 goal. But for an indie video game, those things are expensive. But if you're going to do them at the kind of, scale I'm doing them at. But since that went down, that was a nice little introduction to people getting to know who I am, what my project is, where it's coming from. And then I was meeting a lot of people in the comic book space. So I listened to Joe and listened to kind of this other artist desire in me to go, it's another medium, go for it. And even in video games, cut scenes have been done in comic book styles in video games. So I looked at that as another kind of avenue. There's Battle Chasers, it was a comic book series, and now it's a video game, and it's, so I kind of looked at it like that, just followed Joe into the depths of independent comic creation. And
Joe, is this good Joe who's in the chat right now?
Yes, sir. Yep. That's him.
Good Joe. Send Marcus Kellegrew your links, and we'll put them up here since you have a campaign launching tomorrow. Let's
Yep. My
balls on your campaign. Like somebody asked me, how do you feel about so and so making a comic? And I'm like, great. We need more good comics. I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for everybody with good comics. So you said you were an art teacher. Did I mishear you?
No. I said there was I went to art school.
Oh,
I had a lot of art.
I thought you said you went to art school and then became an art teacher. I misheard.
No. No. I don't think I could deal with that. I don't have
That's what I was going to ask you. How'd you deal with it?
Although I was going to say I don't have a flat jacket.
It's like art.
Oh, that's bad. But no, so I followed Joe into doing comic books. And for me, it's a new thing with art. Art's always been something that guided me. I always wanted to learn a new skill here, another skill there. My dad was a carpenter growing up. So everything's done with the hands. We're making everything we can, from knives to woodworking to everything that you could think of. We were just trying to keep our hands busy. I followed him into him, and I didn't know what style I was going to go for or what, but I threw just about everything I had at this project back in, coming in fresh like I am, but I'm learning, I'm listening, I'm talking to people about this and that, a lot of artists, and now a lot of fans too. So now trying to kind of get more associated with everyone now that I'm only got almost 2 pages left. I'm 2.5 pages from having the art done. So I'm so psyched about it.
So let's look at your again, like I said, I just saw the images that you sent me, and I thought they were great. And I was like, I want to check this out. So I figured I'd check it out with you. So I'm going to bring up this. This is, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, that's the bottom of my latest page that I finished. So it's
great. Yeah. So I take it this is your fantasy series, and
Yep.
I guess these are your races that you made up, because they don't look like Tolkien elves to me, or
no, they're more primates. So they're primates / humans. So you could think an illusion of a missing link type,
Okay, let's start at the beginning then. So this is a comic book project that you're making, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's not available yet. So this is a teaser for something that's coming. Oh, it is available now?
This was originally put out as my first comic book campaign and launched on Bancroft's about a year and a half ago. So I'm just about to fulfill it. Coming up, and my head's been down while I've been doing the work, so I'm kind of popping back out and going, "I remember me. It's almost done."
Okay, so you have so this is okay. So you had a campaign. What was the name of your campaign?
Beckoned Recourse.
Beckoned Recourse. So this is Beckoned Recourse 1. Okay, and you're about to start launching Beckoned 2?
No, I'm about to fulfill 1.
All right.
I'm sorry. Like I said. So I don't really have a call to action.
Know about this. Is there any way for me to catch up and get this?
There will be once it's fulfilled. I'll be mailing all of them out and having a store ready for everybody to go and get.
You got to take care of your backers, and dummies like me that didn't know about it,
Yeah. No, but that's good. It's good because everyone's still talking. Everyone's excited about it. So I'm just trying to say, hi, remember me in this project? It's almost done. I got more images to show. So
what was Beckett? Was it a floppy comic? Was this a graphic novel?
It is a 32-page saddle stitch current size comic book. It's one of a 3-part prologue, so I'll have 3 issues that complete the prologue of the story that happens 10 years before the events of the first video game.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
right.
Okay, all right.
Now, if comic books are going great and everyone loves that trilogy that I'm going to have on the 3rd books campaign, a hardbound that puts all 3 books together in a nice little collection, get the extra white glove premium, build on that book. Then I do have a 10-issue series that fills in those 10-year gap of time between the prologue and the video game. So I do have,
like I said, I just saw your artwork and I was like, this looks awesome. I want to find out about this. So I'm learning as you explained to me. Okay, so I was a little confused, but that makes sense now. So you get a 3-issue prologue to the video game.
Yeah, and then a 10-issue series fits in between that 10-year gap. Yeah,
you do the coloring also.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Now these are quiet colors. I'll zoom out of here for a second. So, and start popping up a little bit more.
Oh, this is a page. I thought
this is a full page. Yeah, no,
this
here.
Is what your comic looks like, man. Oh my God, this is awesome.
This, let me get it fit to screen. Damn it. There you go. But yeah, that's a page that I just, the most recent page that I just finished.
Oh, the comments are going by so fast, I can't grab them every time I go to grab them, which is a good sign. How you doing, everybody? I'm trying to show everybody the comments. We got Darren in the chat. Cole King, new names. I love seeing new names. Cole King, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, again, as much as I'm into comics and like I go to work every day, I come home from work, I'm tired, and I still make time to check out comics and rereading old comics. So things miss by. So don't take it personally that I didn't know this campaign. I think Darren told you to message me, and I'm so glad he did because this art is outstanding.
I appreciate it too. Yeah.
Grandpa. Yeah, these. I thought this was a poster. That's how cool it looks.
All right, I'll zoom in a little bit more because that's the other thing is the fidelity.
Look at that. This is going to be a weird comment, but have you ever done tattoos?
Yes.
Yeah, you look like a tattoo artist too. Not you. I mean, the art. This is really cool.
Yeah, I did tattoos for about 10 years. About 5 years of those was in a shop. So The
I
other
got some
times
technical
was
questions I'll ask you later.
yeah.
Shadowpunk. He says it's a great field to finish your book. Shadowpunk's got a great book called Shadowpunk. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got Cold King's asking, is there's going to be a second chance campaign for guys like me that didn't know anything
I'm not
about
sure. I'm not so sure. Really, I'm trying just to fulfill the first one. I've got book 2 already. I already know where the script's going. I've got that book 2 basically bullet pointed out, like page by page, what's happening throughout. So attacking that wouldn't be too much of a stretch. I just got to see what the reaction's going to be on book 1. That's why it will be available after it fulfills with everybody. It'll be available on the webpage to order. I will have extras. And I want to see what people are saying about it, what they think.
Yeah, I know comic book people are compulsive. So if people missed out on issue number 1, they're not going to get issue number 2. You got to keep issue number 1 available.
Yeah.
Look at this. What does Joe says? You got to draw the nose hair. I guess this is an inside joke with you guys.
Yeah, the detail thing with me is where it gets insane. Like that's
guys are goofing on me. This is an interior page. Yes, yeah. Look at this. There was I wanted to. Okay, here's the comment. Marcus throws up Star Circuit. This is This is Joe's book that's launching tomorrow. I just want to give everybody some publicity. It's all about comics, guys. It's all about comics. Like sometimes we forget we get our egos, but I don't care who's making the comics as long as the comics are good, man. And this looks awesome.
Heck yeah.
So tell me about the premise.
Premise of Beckon, in one simple overarching, boring way to say it, which is the worst thing to do. But just so you guys know, this is how powerful the magic.
Isn't it the worst when people say that? Tell me about your comic. You're like,
I'm going to preface it because I've done it.
I freak out every time. So I'm with you on this. Put you on the spot.
Yeah. So it mainly covers, in their perspective, a guy goes to work, a new father goes to work for his job. That's basically the high magic users of their society that's built up in this tree. It's a kingdom in the trees. But he goes to work that day and things go bad at work. So it's not a super complicated overarch, but it's a crap ton of world building thrown at you through the visuals, through some of the subtext of what they're going to be talking about, some of the magic things you're going to see. I understand you're not going to understand them completely just yet, but I'm trying to give you enough hints to understand it just enough to go, okay, I know kind of what happened here, to keep you enough intrigued to be questioning, well, why did that happen? Where is this going? I kind of see where he's hinting at something here, but so this is a pilot story, but I'm trying to kind of get a lot said with very minimal, because the event that happens that takes up half of this book is the big event that happens in what's called the Denethite Chamber. It's all action from 50% of the book, basically. The whole 50 other percent is like us going through Hobbiton in Lord of the Rings, like Fellowship of the Ring. You get to see the beautiful village. Everything's nice. Everything's cool.
That's my wife's favorite part. Let's watch the Hobbiton. She wants to see a Hobbiton movie.
Like a Hobbit party. That looks like so much fun. So, but yeah, and then I twist it, halfway through the book and just give you kind of, it goes from very bright to very dark and Baroque style.
I'm just looking at this image. This is, you're a youngin' compared to me, but if I was 17 years old, this would be hanging up in my pot smoking attic above the garage with me and my friends, on that black light. Oh man, yeah, look at that guy's eye. This is awesome.
Heck yeah.
I really am. I see a lot of comic book art, but this is out of the park. This is really good.
I got something slowing down.
I'm really appreciating fantasy comics lately. I don't know what it is, but sword and sorcery and fantasy comics are just. I never liked them as a kid because kids comics were superheroes for me as a kid, but now I'm really liking it, and I'm also liking that it's your own world. It's not just a token reskin. It's like I don't know if you know Renee, who does Fiendish. She's making up her own races, making up her own world, and now
Right.
and you're doing your own thing too.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
cool.
We're all out here doing some cool stuff in the fantasy space. Sorry, my mouse is going wacky on me.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got control back. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, Reenie's Fiendish was really cool when I first saw it. I came on the scene about the same time she was throwing out Fiendish 1. I remember me and Joe having her on our old show, Art Bros, and her perspective mastery was something that was so cool for me to see, because in a classical sense, in comic books, there's so much perspective when you get on a high art skill that you can play with. But some of those perspectives, like 5-point perspective and even mastering a lot of 3rd point, is intimidating for beginner artists. So to see her do a lot of this fun 5-point perspective and the dynamics that she had, it was really cool. It was really cool to see. And then, yeah, she pumped that out quick. She's got Fiendish 2 coming along. So
yeah, she's another one. I missed Fiendish 1. I just, didn't notice it. So I got Fiendish 1 and 2 at the same time. And, 2.5 is being made. I think she's working on 3. Oh, I can't wait. But anyway, this is your comic. I'm loving this fantasy. So what are the name? What kind? You said they're like simian people, like a
missing link type primate-ish. They're very human-like. So even if you don't like evolution, if you do like, it's a fantasy, so I'm playing with it, whatever. Is it right? So
yeah, everybody unchill, relax. It's a magic world.
Right. Unchill. That's fine. So Tepestro's our centerpiece character. He's our new father that's going to his job as a tuner. They use these crystals that in this world they call Lodens to tune their brain waves in sync with this force called the Shadrea, which is a harmonic force brought to consciousness through the vibrations of the crystals worldwide. And okay. So you see all this.
You made all of this up? You're the writer also?
Yeah.
I love that. I wish I could draw so bad, because to me, the purest comics are comics made by the writer artist.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun, even every step of the way, which is probably why I stuck to it. But
so this is your baby. You're writing it, you're drawing it, you're coloring it. This is awesome, and you're also making weapons and daggers.
Yeah. You want to make me big?
Sure.
So on the campaign, I had a wild itch and said, "Hey, I wanted something cool for the fans that get the book, that wanted to kind of hold a piece of the world in their hands." And kind of like in Romeo and Juliet, they like off themselves with a dagger, and poison. In my story, there's an event that happens that includes this dagger happening. So it's an acrylic dagger that has a belt frog.
It's so freaking cool. He was showing me this before we went live. I am so impressed.
But yeah, it doubles as a stand on the table, and as well you can hang it off your belt if you want to do like Ren fairs or costumes or whatever like that. But it's acrylic that's molded and aged, and then I've woven the handle with sinew on armature wire and actual genuine braided leather handles. So it's all well balanced. It feels great. I love spinning around. Everyone really liked it. I think Bancroft had seen it, and I met him and a bunch of others at the con in Tampa. So they were holding it and going, "Whoa, that's too cool." I was like, "Heck yeah!" But I made weird stuff like this too, which shows up in the first book. There was only one made, so that's going out to the backer as soon as it is done. But that shows up in book 1. Let's see, what else do I got here? The crystals I molded, but there's one. So these little guys.
How do you mold that?
The same acrylic I'm doing out of these. So it's I have a mold made of a little silicone mold. So just go buy silicone at an art hobby shop. Wear masks and gloves. That stuff is kind of toxic to breathe.
I have a resin printer. I have the Mars Elegoo.
Mm-hmm.
the small one. Like you didn't.
Oh, like a 3D printer.
Yeah, you didn't use that. You're actually using molds and pouring them. Oh wow.
Yeah. And coloring them too.
3D printer, and I used it like 3 times, and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do with it. And now I want a bigger one, and I don't even use the smaller one.
Yeah. So when my comic book campaign funded, Chris Fisk was also doing 3D printing and was like, hey man, I want to print that statue off for you. So I had a clay sculpture of my main character of the game that I hand sculpted, and then took about 200 pictures of it and sent it to a friend of mine that me and Joe used to work for, who 3D models. And he, I got him to 3D model it, and then I sent Chris this, and he 3D printed it for me. And this has been super cool. And the coolest thing is this part here is he got the logo and the character's name on the base, and such a cool resin print. It's awesome, wicked cool. So he was like, "That's your trophy, man." I was like, "Holy crap, Chris, thanks." So
that's cool.
Yeah, everyone's been super stoked about the campaign. I mean, we did the bookmark and stickers campaign. So no, you're fine. You're fine. I was sharing screen too much, but we did the bookmark and stickers campaign with Kenneth Rocafort and Bancroft and a bunch of them. Where's my challenge going? No, see, I'm showing off all the toys. The comic. I'm sorry. No. But yeah, it's just been really fun. That was the double page spread here. The first page that I did do, though, that was me going, "Hi guys, how's this look?"
How long did it take you to do a page like this?
The double page spread was at the very beginning of this, so it took me a little bit longer, but it took about 12 months to do. Wow. I don't know the exact hours that it took, to be honest with you, but I do know I got it done in a 2-month frame time window. But now I've clocked my page times.
I'm gonna make this big.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hold on, let me get it for you.
This is awesome.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed. I actually, for the first time in a long time, got speechless. I didn't know what to say. There's artists from the 70s that did these panoramic, for lack of a better term, old fantasy comics, and I'm trying to summon their names in my head. But I haven't seen art like this since the 70s. And believe me, I'm raving. That's not an insult, because I think
I love it. Keep going.
Oh man, it's driving me nuts. I'm sure Marcus is going to remember these guys' names that I'm talking about or thinking about. But they did these old fantasy comics that you don't see anymore. Like these old past masters, they just either retired or passed on it. And no offense to modern comic, but they don't do it like heavy metal artists. Oh God, I'm getting Alzheimer's. I can't remember these guys' names, but this is awesome.
Thank you.
I am really, really now mad that I didn't know about this comic. Look at that. And as you zoom in, it's all crisp too. That is awesome. What is the name of your main character again? You said it, but you said so much that I couldn't retain the information.
But yeah, for this book, and the names are strange too. So I'm sorry, guys. But Tepestro.
That's not that bad. I can pronounce that, Tepestro.
Yeah.
It's not like Aztec mythology. I can't pronounce that.
right. But yeah, so the Jiri, these monkey creatures, originated 100 years before this book takes place, were slaves in the land of Thal, where they were miners of a substance called denethite. The whole empire of Thal is militarizing and using technology based on this substance, denethite. And one of their own was like Moses and the Israelites and kind of exodused them out of Thal. His name was Morthus, and he's led them to this giant tree that they named Tulabanya. And they've developed their own technology using these Loden crystals as the biofuel to basically create their airships and a new technology kind of basically retconning what they learned as slaves. And this is 100 years later. So they're very fast about it.
Cool. This is cool. This is really cool. I'm liking this a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is so cool. You know, and it's funny because when Renee was on, she was talking about how she made her own, Renee from Fiendish, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, she made her own language that these people,
Yeah.
and I got inspired because sooner or later in my comic, if I make it there, there's going to be a Doctor Strange superhero who uses magic. And I was like, now I got to make up the letters and, you know, because he uses a magic system called the language of creation to cast his spells. Now I got to write him out and everything like that. And now I was getting impressed with myself. And then I see you doing stuff like this. You know, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still dipping my toes in the water because you guys are doing such intricately detailed world building. Oh, look at this. It's so cool. Look at that.
And I could go back to any of these, so I'm just kind of like making sure
every time you go to a new image, I stop and just look at it. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that's a big eyeball up there. This crystal woman, we saw her in the first image you showed, right?
I know it's androgynous. It does look, but it's a young boy.
Oh, okay.
That is crystal encrusted and half grown with this denethite substance. He's called the Nightmare Eater. He actually has a real name, but they call him the Nightmare Eater. They found when Morthus brought them to Tulabanya and they started building a home there, in the roots of the tree, deep, dark down in the roots of this giant, massive tree, like the size, you know, you're seeing the sizes I'm trying to portray here. It's huge. Yeah. But in the roots, they found this boy there, and they didn't know, but that denethite substance that they're trying to escape has infested that tree's roots. And this boy, who's part crystal for some reason, has kept it from overtaking the tree. So that's what they're studying as his job. As these high magic users, they basically tune themselves to this kid every day to try to understand what he's doing, how they can use that to defeat Thal and all that stuff. And things go bad. Yeah. So that's that freeze frame. So the eyeball that you're seeing is Tepestro looking on at this and like, what the heck is going on? And
this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Somebody the other day was on Twitter talking about like, you know, why do you love comics? You know, and I just said the imagination. You know, people said, I love this, I love this. I just said the imagination. I said no other medium has such pure imagination. And I think you're proving my comment right. Look at this.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like maybe some screenplay guy could write this and put it in a movie, but it ain't going to come out like this. You know what I mean? Like the movie, it's going to be it's not cost effective or whatever. You know, you got 30 people making a movie, but you got one guy dreams this up, draws it, writes it, colors it. Look at this. This is your imagination. This is outstanding. I'm raving, and I don't.
Thank you. Now I've got a final image to show.
Oh, it's Bancroft. Yeah, Bancroft posted that. Yes, Bancroft, and that's what I said. The pure imagination, and then your comic is proving my point.
Final image I'm going to show because I'm showing a little much now.
Yeah,
but
give away the whole comic. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
I mean, don't you want to show everybody?
I do. I don't care.
Look at that detail. Oh my God, that is so cool, man.
Yeah, a lot of needless detail, but to me, I liked the never-ending story and the idea or the fantasy magic idea of opening a book and then getting sucked into it. Or if you ever play the video game Myst or anything.
Oh, yeah, I remember Myst.
Yeah, so it's like I want it. Something about my art that I've always liked is when people saw it, they lean into it. That's a good sign to me. They're interested enough to lean in. So I say thank you.
See all the details, yeah.
I say thank you by giving you those details. Like lean in and keep going, you know, as far as the medium can push it. And to me, that that gets you absorbed in a way. So I don't know. That's why I push it.
yeah, this is really good. This, you know, again, this is not an insult. This is just, but you remind me of like right now in Europe, the way comics are coming out of all these. I'm trying to look to see if I could safely pull out, but they have these oversized editions that like a writer artist will put out like once a year, and it's just a big oversized. You can see all the art. This is like your art reminds me of that. I was stumbling over my words, but that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I've had a few people suggest, you know, later on if I wanted to do a artist version that's at the 11 by 17, you know, print size, then that would be I'd love to. So again, I'd like to see what people's reactions are once they get the book. The art's cool, but I am going to try writing a really good story here and making sure that that's worth everything. I'll tell you what, I love doing it. It was the best that I could do the first time. So, you know, I got a bunch of others down the way. So
let me ask you, saying Joe got you into comics. So did you didn't grow up reading comics? You weren't a comic book fan as a kid?
I read a few comics growing up because I've always loved art. So I was in hanging out in a comic book shop playing Dungeons and Dragons when I was
That
younger.
was my next question. Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah. So I was being paid by the little other kids there to draw their D&D characters.
Awesome.
And then I would go to Little Caesars and buy breadsticks with that money, and then just to come back and keep playing. So
That's funny.
Yeah, and they had the Simpsons arcade over there, so I played that a bunch too. Well, you know, but no, I remember seeing The Darkness and other comic books that caught my eye. I've read The Death of Superman back in the day. I read the Bane comic where Batman, you know, breaks his back, he breaks Batman's back. Yeah, Bane's. I read a few, or like the Killing Joke type stuff. I read some stuff, but I've always been towards the video game area, you know, trying to get that thing, because that's been a big part about my life, just in general, is just video games, working on them, building them. Me and my friends were playing around with Quake 2, or, you know, and building the arenas back then. Neverwinter Nights, playing around with early Photoshop, you know, and basic tools on the computer to make portraits and stuff like that, to make our games. Morrowind, modding Morrowind and stuff. So I've always been part of that. And then RPG Maker. I've always wanted to make video games. I don't even know why. I could tell you a bunch of games that hit me when I was a kid, and it's surprisingly Hook on the Sega Genesis. Yeah, the movie to game Hook. So I was a kid and I loved it. I was like, I want to do that. But yeah, RPGs really kind of gave me the scope to tell a big grand story. I was reading Lord of the Rings before the movies came out. I was kind of a book nerd. My friends were nerds too. But yeah, I just was always the one to kind of draw. So you did play D&D. Yeah. Rollmaster was my main game. It was a competitor in like the mid 90s, late 80s. I think it was just mid 90s, but that's when I got a hold of it. But yeah, it was a different type of system, but I love it, still do. But that's
your go-to game system, Rollmaster.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, were you a player? You must have been a DM once. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. And me and my buddy, who's helped me quite a lot, do some of the world building for this, as far as just being my best friend growing up, because I started working on this world building when I was in high school. My teacher wanted me to go to Savannah College of Art Design in Savannah, Georgia. To do that, I needed to have a really good portfolio. So I saw what the examples of that would be. And that was just so many cool artists that could come up with a bunch of different ideas. And that like freaked me out to the point where I was like, well, how can I make all this different type of art and stay focused on that? I was like, start making your own Star Wars world, start making your own like Lord of the Rings thing. I mean, you and your friends been doing RPGs or tabletop, just go, you know. And the way me and him started doing it was freestyle. We started throwing each other into our own imaginations. We weren't using modules later on. So we're actually just playing with dice and pen and paper and just sending each other
I
through
don't
the
use
other one.
modules either. I don't want people like knowing stuff about it. I want them to know what I want them to know when it's time to know it. So let me ask you: is this comic based on your role playing games? Like,
No, actually, no, it's not. That's what was crazy. It was always something that I was like, yeah, I want to send my buddy through this cool big world, so I'm gonna try. But then it turned into, oh, I need to focus on building something to get a scholarship. I'm going to do that. And then that just stuck with me. So it's been with me pretty much every step of my life. So it's been great, been nice. It's been a compass when I didn't have a direction. So now, so I started in 2016. It's when I got the company started. We got the video game up on Steam. Thank you so much for dropping the links. They're there. You can play it if you have a PC. It's a prototype demo. It's not the full system. We already have the full combat system in place. On one of our old episodes, we've actually pulled that one up and showed you guys how it's working. We're not going to update the Steam with that version though. So we're keeping that aside as we get this book done, see everyone's thing. We're going to start that up in a different direction, basically. Start with the comic and go
just
up.
About to start fulfillment for this comic?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, when I say about fulfillment or close, I mean I'm almost 2 pages done with the art.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've done this process a lot differently than other people. I didn't do it the structured, simple way because I'm doing everything. Which I hope everyone's excited to see this too, because it's either gonna blow up or like in a bad way, like in my face. Yeah, we told you should have hired professionals. So
that's what I'm scared of. If my comic is a success, I'm gonna hire Critical Blast to do the fulfillment because I'll mess it up. And then I have a wonderful comic that people are going to be mad at because I sent the wrong test to that person. I didn't ship it. You know what I mean? So, if it's not a success, I'll fulfill it myself because that'll be easy.
Yeah. Well, luckily, I get to talk to a lot of the fans and a lot of the people and supporters too. That's what's cool about my campaign and kind of how small it was kept. Because I know a lot of my backers, like more than 60% of them, I more than likely pretty much know them. So I'm stoked about that. And everyone's been so supportive and patient with me. So that's been nice too.
I can tell everybody's excited because when I posted that I was going to be talking to you, everybody started sharing the links. You know what I mean? I was like,
thank you guys.
Yeah. And again, I put out a call 2 weeks ago, and I said, I've been working on my own comic, and I've been neglecting getting guests. So I said, anybody want to come in and talk about stuff? And this is going to sound mean, but a lot of people sent me stuff that I was like, I know you think it's good, but whatever. But I saw your pictures, and I was like, this looks awesome. This looks really good. And I didn't know you, and now I'm excited. I actually got like speechless at some of those pieces.
Awesome.
And like I said, like I responded to Bancroft. My favorite thing about comic books is the imagination.
His Lucent book is awesome. I've got it up here. I think behind Joe's book, Bancroft. I'm sorry, it's behind Joe's. My rack got filled, so but I got the Lucent. I've read it a bunch of times now, about 6 times. I did
I missed the Lucent the first time he he's got the new one, so I backed with ketchup, so I'll get them both because it's coming from Australia. I don't want to pay the shipping.
But everyone's been so great and like I said, very patient. I know here's the other reason the campaign's not still open. I'm just a nervous, anxious guy. I just want to do it the right way and not like grift off anything. Or you
got one chance to make your first comic.
It's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. So I was just more excited that everyone like gave me the support that I did, and it was awesome, and I liked it. There was a lot of difficulty with things around me at the time, particularly with like Indiegogo and stuff. But I still rose great amount for my first comic ever. Like I'm very lucky to be able to get this ready. But yeah, after the art's done, hopefully in the next like couple weeks. I got to get the lettering done. I'm doing those as yep.
So you're doing everything.
Yeah, everything. So, and I've already got the template set up for that. A bunch of guys helped me figure that one out. Bancroft gave me a good Hail Mary save on that one. So he was like, hey, think about it like this. I was like, thank you, sir. So that really
good guy. He's going to host my launch on not this Friday, but following Friday. Get a little plug for myself, you know.
And they had D-Wag and them guys over the, they've all been great, especially giving me some insight. I've told them some stuff, about the book and how to kind of come across it. They've been like, yeah, man, you do it like this. What do you think about like that? And no one's telling me what to do. They're all just saying, hey, like
I'm with
it's
you.
ideas. I don't have it. No one tells anyone too much unless you ask. So.
I wrote a script for a comic, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to hire an artist, and that's all I thought making a comic book was. And then I'm like, who's your pre-press guy? Do this, and then I had to get logos made up, and then I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? And I just went. My philosophy is just ask people, just be nice and ask people. And it's amazing how helpful and friendly everybody in this group is. There's a couple of little prickly pears once in a while, but you know what? You can navigate through those waters pretty easy if you don't rise to the bait. Right. And that's what I'm trying to do, And you seem like you're the same way, pleasant guy. You don't know something, you just ask somebody. Guys like Bancroft help you out. But you got all so you got 90% of the battle taken care of. You're building knives. You obviously know computers. You could write, you could draw, you could do, you know what I mean? So you just need a little help once in a while. Yeah. A couple of
the marketing side, I really just haven't had time to kind of pull away from the art. To me, it's my chance to do it right. So I'm kind of obsessed about the art and getting it done. Everyone around me in my personal life has like been extremely supportive and actually helps me stay on that grind all the time. So again, we're all excited to have it being good, at least the art side concluded. Because let me tell that page, that last page I showed you, that takes a little over 100 hours.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, it's super detailed. It's
so
cool.
On an average, each page is about 100 hours.
So do you have any like non-comic, non-game friends that when you tell them you make a comic, they get excited? Because
because they know my artwork, and they're like, you're making a comic book, what?
Oh, that's
or especially like old tattoo clients or stuff like that.
I want to get to the tattoo in a minute.
Yeah.
But I work construction, and you go to work, it's like, how's the weather? Did you watch the game last night? Blah blah blah. So when I tell people I'm making a comic, a lot of guys like, wow, they're so interested because it's so bizarre to their way of thinking,
Yeah.
So now I got to ask you about the tattoos.
Okay, yeah, that's what I just held up on the screen. That's my old iron workhorse machine. So that's my old tattoo coil machine. so that thing.
So the first time you're doing a tattoo, I always wanted to ask a tattooist this question. So you walk in, you got your needle, and it's your very first time. How do you get to that point? How do you get to the point where somebody trusts you enough to?
Okay, yeah, because it sounds crazy, right?
Right. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I'm gonna walk in. I want to see this MFer's portfolio before I let him in. And then like you sit down. Oh, let me see your portfolio. You're my first one. I'd be like, boom. It would be like the Wile E. Coyote of the Roadrunner. There'd be like a human-shaped hole in the wall as I'm getting in my car and driving away.
That's funny. Yeah. It depends on how you come into it. You see guys come into it from the street side. You see guys come to it more recently in the past, like 20 years, a lot more professionally. That's what kind of changed a lot of it was trendy, it used to be not so trendy.
Right. When I was a kid, only dirtbags got tattoos. Like, you got them in jail or you were a troublemaker.
Right.
You just didn't want to get a real job. Now, everybody, like you go on a job interview, the guy interviewing you has tattoos.
Probably full sleeves. Yeah. So, going about it the right way though, because yeah, if you're doing it from the street and you're going into like at that scenario, you probably learned some bad habits, probably pretty dirty, made some people like sick off of it. And luckily I didn't come from that. I had a bunch of guys that I kind of went to high school with that saw my artwork, and after I got back from college at Savannah College of Art Design, I did go. After that, though, they were like, dude, can you design me this tattoo? Can you design me this? And then they were like, well, dude, can you just like start learning tattoos? Like, screw designing them. Can you just start learning how to do it? So a buddy of mine from high school and a bunch of buddies of mine had this tattoo shop in Frankfurt, Liquid Graphics. And we went out there and it took me about 6 months. Usually it's supposed to take a year, but the right way to do it is to bring a shop bitch into the shop, and they don't get to touch skin for a year. You're supposed to that person is supposed to clean every station, clean all the needles, sanitize everything. You're the you're the do it all, do everything. That's showing you, and I did that, and that's showing you responsibility. You need to make sure everything's passing the bloodborne pathogen test and the OSHA stuff. You want to learn the business side, because you can't just start tattooing. You have to be licensed. You have to be doing it in a commercial tube, building and all that stuff. And it's for health code reasons. So that's when then it's the art side. So you're learning all that on top of hanging out with these dudes and hopefully learning a lot of the art side from the masters in the shop. And then when they trust you enough, when they're being like, do it on your own leg. Okay, do it on my leg, and then it's like, okay, now, yeah. And they can get a feel for that. They want you to screw up on your leg first, or at least mine did. And then, then they're like, okay, tattoo me. And then it's like, okay, I can tell you're not being too rough or heavy handed. If you are, they tell you. My boss took my first machine apart and said, okay, rebuild it, figure it out. So, and he was a great guy. RIP, dude. He's not here anymore. But yeah, he used to travel around to do tattoos everywhere.
Yeah, I always wondered that. Like, how, it's like,
it's a slanty.
Dive, and how do you do your first tattoo? You don't have time to make mistakes.
Like this, you're like, what's going on? Oh, the nerves your first few times is crazy, because you make a mark. That's it. Like, that's forever. So yeah, my buddy actually, he volunteered. He was like, dude, I just want you to do his killer dragon up my shin. So I brought him in. My boss went, you trust him? He's like, yeah, I trust him. He's a killer artist. Okay. And so I started going, and my boss gets the other shop guy, because there was another guy there learning too. So he basically had me and this other dude tattooing the same tattoo on this guy's leg. And that was basically my initiation. So
I had a buddy at work who was like, yeah, learn on me. This guy just wanted covered it. You know what I mean? So he's got bad tattoos and then cooler tattoos over them, and then other people fix them.
Yeah, I've done 90% of mine. So I can't reach back here. So I had my buddy finish that up. But my palms
I guess you do a non-complicated tattoo first, like a smiley face.
That's not how my brain works. That's why my book looks like this. Even the guys at the shop were going, no, that's too detailed.
My buddy Paul's got a question. He says, any space-themed art? You mentioned Quake and a lot of game back. Anything space is... Paul wants to know, do you do anything space-themed?
I love sci-fi stuff. Very much enjoy it. Have I done it recently? No. Have I done it before? Yes. Do I have anything to show you? No. But I have worked for video game companies, 2 of them, and a bunch of other projects for buddies and stuff like that. So I've played with space-themed stuff. And to be honest with you, Beckend is a sci-fi more than, it is a fantasy, but it's more of a Gaia punk fantasy, using what we're finding out with, I guess you could even say it's theoretical quantum physics, stuff like that. Where's the real end of those tunnels of possibilities? So when you get to this, in a multiverse universe, not like Marvel and DC, but like
I hate when I see that.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not
That whole
cheesy.
term is
No, it's not going down that way. But superposition, the frequencies, the harmonics, these things that, I mean, even Graham Hancock discusses about primitive technologies that we might have had back then, pre-flood eras. And those are just fun topics to think about. But there may be a lot of fact to some things that we just don't understand right now. So I love sci-fi. I love practical, like, I'm not even going to say practical fantasy. It doesn't make sense. But I told Joe I'm calling this guy a punk. Like, just my own term I'm throwing out there.
You made that up? Because I never heard that.
Yeah, like Gaia, like the spirit of the earth kind of thing. And then it's about a dystopian society that's kind of growing up under the powers of these things. So, and how they influence the life forms on the planet. But yeah, it's there's humans on the planet too. We get there in later books. I've even been thinking about popping a few of them in the backgrounds of this book, just to kind of let the audience know it's not a furry book. There are humans here. It's nothing like that, or it's been my small joke. But people have associated like Dark Crystal and stuff. That's what I used to say.
It reminds me of like Avatar, the James Cameron movie, and Dark Crystal somehow had a movie.
Yeah. But I've had a lot of the Avatar thing, but I started on Avatar before that movie came out, or I started on mine before Avatar came out.
Whenever people get because I'm not a big fan of Avatar. It looked great, but it was the most basic, simple story.
Oh yeah, Crowfire Studios, thanks, man, and like him over there with his Band of the Crow with the Oren. His Oren's art is insane, and Arvid's really cool people, really smart people. So if you're ever interested in talking to another smart dude, if you haven't,
DM me, send me a message. My DMs are open.
Yeah. Him and Oren are working on their fantasy book called Band of the Crows, and it's looking fantastic as well.
So you said you were going to make 3 comics. That's kind of like a prequel to the game.
Yep.
Is it complete? Like, can I read you 3 comics and not play the game and get a complete story?
It depends. I don't say complete. No, not to be fair. Like, there's not a conclusion. To me, we can I'm not going to argue it because it's once it's out of my hands, it's your all's go. It's the fans go. You all say what you want to say about it. I have every right to. That's the way art works with me. But I mean, like I said, it's a prologue, so not really, but you can see it as being Tepestro's character arc. You can see it as being his wife's character arc. You can see that I'm setting up characters and kind of what happens. But no, and that's why it's a prologue. I'm doing my best to create micro arcs within this arc, if that makes sense. So there is an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 story. Yes, that is. But that's more about what the MacGuffin and how it gets created. So I do have a One Ring type object in this world. But this is how it gets made. And this is the journey of how it gets out of where it was made and in kind of safer hands. So that starts up, some things. So there's that kind of what I would call a micro arc. And then, but yeah, I mean, trust me, I love talking about it. So, and I've got a channel. So if anyone wants to talk to me,
not giving it away.
Yeah. And then, Kenneth Rogafort puts out these mini books, these 10-pagers. And I really like what he did there. He doesn't have, he gives you really good line art, black and white drawings of these. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah. So I've been thinking about doing some of those to fill in some of the backstory gaps of some of these characters, maybe between the 3 main issues. And like I said, if everything's going great, you guys like what's coming out and the quality that I get to you. I know it took a little bit long this first time. That was me finding my footing in the art, and I didn't give up. I kept pushing regardless of it being late because I still believe in don't rush it, make it right the first time. In games, it's a philosophy that some of the biggest guys, I want to say it was the Mario developer, said a rushed game will be bad. will eventually be bad. Or hold on, sorry. A delayed game can eventually be good, but a rushed game will forever be bad. So I want to kind of look at it like that. It's like once it's in the printer's hands, I'm out. That's what happens. So, and I know it's like if the printer comes back and things are damaged, I'll fix all that. I kind of mean when it's in your hands. When it's in your hands, I'm basically
look at the detail of your art. Yeah, nobody's going to complain once they get. What happened?
It wasn't me. No,
don't tell me.
No, it was me. It was me. I dropped something. I don't know what it is. I'll figure it out later. We're all good. No, it was Miyamoto, Joe. Thank you. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, then we're not broken. Hell yeah. So,
just want to give a shout out to Matt Perez in the art. He's the artist on this. Look how thick this thing is.
Oh, yeah.
I love how it looks like an 80s indie comic. You know what I mean? I'm reading this weekend. I need Saturday all day Saturday.
That's why I brought up the mini books of Kenneth's stuff. Is I want to find a similar style to mine, but using a more simplified brushstroke system. Getting more of those hard lines, but still capturing the same attitude to be able to start putting out books a little bit faster.
So you want to have like a faster style for future comics?
Yeah, for those small ones, I still want to keep this style as much as I can. I did talk about wanting to do the second book with traditional pencils and scan those in and then do digital colors because I just want to make sure if anything goes, but I don't know if that's going to happen yet or not. I got a lot faster doing these pages. So
this is all digital.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
But the crosshatch that you're seeing, it's not a brush setting that I got. It's 0.2 hard round with pressure sensitivity. And you could watch me on my stream every Friday. I'm drawing it on that stream every Friday, and you could watch me put those hatch marks in. It's a labor of love, and it takes forever, but I love it. That's what's giving it its look. If I didn't do things that particular way, it would change the whole thing.
Doing this for a couple of years. This is the first time you put up a picture, and I didn't have anything to say. So yeah, you're doing something right.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad it does that, and I hope it does that for everyone who gets it. Because even on your show, we're not. I'm sure you're not streaming in 4K resolution, and I'm sure like all of my posts on Twitter, my thumbnails, and when I stream, I'm not streaming at 4K either. So the fidelity's not there. But for the people that I have shown the full fidelity, the full DPI image, a lot of us are going, you need to make some posters. And I'm like, I'm playing too. Like there's a lot of pages there that are really great posters. So I'm going to be having those on that shop too. But they'll be coming soon. They won't be available at the same time the book will be, but yeah, it's coming, and it's coming. It's coming this year. Trust me, it's coming this year. I wish I could give you guys a better date, but I haven't got the printer laid down yet, but we know who we're going to. So that's what's happening. So I don't know if it's going to take 3 months to print, 2 months to print. I'm not sure yet.
If this is your first book, yeah. See, that's I gave people a longer date because I never did it before, and I'd rather err on the side of caution. I think
right.
I'm so nervous about pissing people off about something stupid like I just misjudged how long it takes to print and ship out a comic.
Yeah, but thank God. I mean, everyone's been real nice. So
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, thank God, everyone's been real nice. So
for the most part, in this whole Comicsgate, indie, whatever, I'm gonna say like for every 100 people I interact with, 99 of them are cool. I'm gonna say like half of them are maybe it's just a misunderstanding or miscommunication on my part too. But once in a while, you just get a troll, and there's nothing you can do. So I just try to kill them with kindness.
I love my Biggs, though. I love him. Okay, no, I'm just joking. No.
I try to teach myself what would Stan Lee do. If Stan Lee was still alive on the internet, Hawking Comics rather, and a troll came up. Wow, true believer. Okay, you didn't like that one. We'll get you for the next one.
Right.
and
You'd
it's
probably
hard.
turn him into a supervillain or
A couple
something.
of people I wish I could transport like the atom through their phone and just punch them in the mouth, but you can't do that. But for the most
Due to
part,
my imagination, though.
yeah.
No.
If you look at the details in the background of one of your pictures, you'll see yourself strangling your
Right.
children.
It's all in subliminals. No,
Oh, man.
a lot of the textures that fill this book are is the substance called denethite. This is, like I said, 50% of the book is in this denethite chamber, so you're getting a lot of your environment variations in the first front end of the book, and then a final page. But a lot of this book is in a dark, drab place. So I got to do it to get it out of the way. Now that story's done, the second book will be much more colorful. There will be much more environments to see there, and for going forward.
It looked colorful what you showed,
Thank you. I'm trying. So, but yeah, I've had such a good time doing it, and yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm halfway done with this next page, so that leaves us with 2 pages left after that. So.
And what's the name of the substance again? Denethite?
Denethite. Yeah.
Did you make this up whole cloth, or is this based on anything?
No, it's right out of the noggin. It's a dark substance. I think it's funny. It's seemingly alien. There's nothing else on the planet kind of like it. It spreads around and grows on living things. It needs a host, but it can kind of just about take any biomaterial and fuel itself.
Okay.
It creates these sacs called blood eggs that are used as fuel, but they basically render anything living kind of dead, or at least they're draining the life while keeping it alive. And there's this subtle like telepathy connection.
Horror in this also.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, slime mold horror idea with it, but it also connects all the hosts. And then freaking whatever The Last of Us came out on, shut up. So with their fungal mold doing the same thing. But this is different. It's it influences the mind in a certain way that kind of just makes things a bit more twisted. People make dark decisions for no reason, kind of thing. So, but it seems like this Empire of Thal learned to control it, use it, and dealt with their whole civilization that way. So, and here's the timeline for this world is the whole planet's pretty young in building civilization. So there's not like giant skyscrapers of, super technology of anything, but they are smart. I did a map, a star map that you, on the campaign, you can name a star in the night sky of our planet. I have a whole map, and you can actually navigate. If you know how to navigate using stars, you can use that to do it. It's the world building I went really deep into because I want to feel it. I want to smell it. Because if I can figure out how to tell you guys what it feels like, what it smells like. I want to get you on the other side of my portal. That's what I'm saying. It's like I got this window, man. I want y'all to go look, see. So.
Yeah, denethite, not to be confused with dolomite. The human.
Right. Thank you, Chris. Yes. He made that joke on my stream one time. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, boss.
Past, me and my friends used to watch the Dolomite movies. Rudy Ray Moore, big Dolomite fan.
Thank you.
And I got to watch the Eddie Murphy movie where he's playing Rudy Ray Moore. I don't know, just made me laugh. Awesome. And Crowfire Studios, sub me DM, and we'll set something up. So anything else you want to say? This was great. I barely had to talk.
That's all. No, like I said, I don't have a call to action for me personally, except if you do have a PC, you do enjoy video games at least a little bit. I animated, put my heart into animating that game, make it. Oh, do you mind if we show that real quick? Just a quick thing here. Let me see. Where's my window?
This is a link to your Steam game, right? I put up the right link. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
okay.
Let's see. So on Steam, this is what your Steam page would look like when you land on it. Here's what it looks like.
I'm gonna make it bigger.
Yeah. It might need to pause a bit, but yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But if you like Super Punch Out and turn-based RPG mechanics, it's a fun little system. Like I said, it's not the full system, but you'll get it's a nice introduction to the system I'm starting. So the full game has all 3 characters in there. The combos are working. The enemies can block you and screw you up too. The magic system's working. So we just need more fans. We need more, we need to build more support, more awareness, get this thing going. But that's where the comic books come in. You guys want to figure out what started all of this stuff before we even get started. It's the comic books. That's the story I'm going to be telling you. So
cool.
This gives you just a little introduction. There's not too much story in this prototype at all. Again, it's more of a game prototype. So you're getting the mechanics. You get story, a little bit hints of it, but not enough where you're able to put too much together. On our website at zadestudios.com, you can go there. There's 3 tabs at the top. The first one just introduces us. The second one's more about the game. You can scroll down, see that same trailer, read a bunch of information on our characters and everything, the world building, more art that you haven't seen. That's that map I was talking about. We've got all kinds of stuff on this middle tab that does give you more information on that. I haven't built out the Beckon Recourse page too much. It's basically a clone of what the campaign page was, or at least the sign-up page. So, but most of my stuff's on Twitter. You can find me at Jeremy Thevenot at Zade Studios, there, or I'm on YouTube as well. My channel's at, you just find me at Zade Studios. Like I said, find me on Twitter or whatever. But yeah, that's basically my spiel, dude. But yeah, that's the only call to action that I can do right now. Go try out that game. Let me know how it is. It's downloaded for free, and then you can hit me up in the discussions and let me know if you encounter bugs, if it didn't work. So yeah, that's all you gotta do. That's about it. Other than that, thanks for showing my art. It's been great to get to know you.
Look at that. Look at that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's a poster right there.
Yeah, it will be. It was available for guys for the campaign. So this is one of the posters that are going to be delivered out with the book. But we will have this available on the website as well after, fulfillment. So.
And Darren wounded himself, but that's okay.
Oh no!
Are you taking commissions?
Thanks, D-Wag. After I get the book sent off to the printers and actually like between the last page getting done, and then I have told people I'm willing to be open for cover commissions for now. For when that happens.
Cover in this style would be glorious. Oh my God.
Yeah. Now I'm not cheap. So that's the other thing, but it gets done quick.
You get what you pay for, though. Look at this.
It gets done quick. So yeah, I'll zoom in more of this Denethite stuff. It's automatic drawing with patterns in line, like kind of that substance I was telling you, like these blood eggs. It develops its own like scale armor, but it kind of just grows and overtakes and becomes.
I like that word. I ain't cheap.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm from Kentucky, so that's how we kind of talk.
No, but yeah. You get what you pay for. You know what I mean? And don't undervalue your worth. That's good. Chris wants you to draw him like one of your French girls.
Oh, anytime. What makes you think I already have it, Chris?
That's in the special art portfolio that we don't show too many people.
Yeah. That's not available on the website.
It's Beckoned After Dark. Yeah.
No. That's funny. That's funny. We're starting at OnlyFans. No. But it's been fun getting to know everybody. And that's kind of, again, why I'm coming out is like, it was fun promoting. It was fun getting around back when I was crowdfunding and everything. Now I'm just kind of sticking my head back up out of the sand and going, hey, I'm almost done. Hey, we're about here. And I guess that's the thing is like, yeah, I'll have copies for everyone to get. What was fun is seeing everyone that did come out that first wave. It's so much love, guys. So it's coming and it's coming. And then, I'm just excited. I can't wait to be past this hill.
Good. Like I said, I didn't know anything about it until you reached out. It's such good artwork. So, so I'll be looking. I will definitely be there when you start doing your next campaign for issue 2.
Yeah,
Reach out again, and I'm getting old. I need reminders once in a while.
No, you're getting wiser, not older. That's wiser. It's different.
My wife is raiding my refrigerator, eating all my cookies.
Like I said, wiser. You had cookies in the fridge. There you go.
The scheduleless Tempestro shows us this whole time.
I did have a picture of him and his wife there, but right now I have it with let's see, you're not sharing my screen right now. Good.
Oh, I can put it back up.
No, don't yet.
Okay.
I gotta turn off the letters of this page before I show it off.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been working on the right letter stylings and stuff like that. So I was like, do I have one with the letters turned off? So I'm opening it now. It's actually the PSD file for it, which means the working file. So that's the other thing. I have like 1,000 layers in the majority of these pages too. So that's the other thing. People were watching me going, what are you doing? Well, why are you doing it like that? It's like, I don't know. I don't want to screw up. Let's see.
I saw somebody posted from Facebook, which is good because I messed up the time, and Facebook said they won't show it if it's too late or too early. So I'm glad to see it actually work. Facebook has been giving me troubles.
All right. Okay, give me 1 sec. Actually, you know what? I think I don't mind showing this. I still got to go through and finalize letters, but I don't care about showing.
So this is a work in progress, everybody. Jeremy,
yeah. Work in progress. But these are the way things are looking at the moment.
I'm gonna embiggen it. There we go. Look at that. Look at all the detail you put in it. So, there's that object you were talking about. That looking thing.
Yeah. It's called a chime cube, and it's a toy for the youngins to train with. Oh, cool. In the art of tuning to crystals. If you can see, there's a crystal embedded in the center of it.
Okay.
So they just load them up with that, with a type of crystal. There are 8 different types. 7, I think 8, 7. Might be 7. I should know this by heart. But the denethite serves as its own interesting substance. But yeah, these were pages that were done about a year ago.
Cool.
So
I like the colors too.
And I've been crunching. So yeah, this is back in that beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring. It's all the pretty stuff. It's all the slice of life. Yeah,
Darren says he didn't even get to see it.
Oh yeah. Yep. D-Way hadn't seen this one. This is the one I was talking about to him a couple times. I was like, oh yeah, but I forgot I hadn't shown him it yet. But yeah, that's I just wanted to be like, hey, I haven't shown this one in a while.
Cool.
But yeah, thank you so much, John. This was very nice. I appreciate it, and fun.
It's such a pleasant surprise because, like I said, I just saw a couple of images. I said I want to check this out, and now I'm more excited. Joe's comment. I was just about almost to say word for word. Stoked to get this book in my hands. Well.
Yeah, guys, remember, sign up for Star Circuit 2. Joe's right there. He launches tomorrow.
Messages for my friends who can't comment on Facebook. This guy's comic looks amazing. So there you go.
Oh, awesome. Thank you guys so much. And again, thank you all for the support going through. And I'm around, so if you ever want to chat again, I like just sitting around goofing off too. I've been on karaoke streams and been over there on Matt Barr's stream a couple times. I like talking and meeting with people and then getting nerdy where we're not pitching books too. So
yeah. I try to avoid making these shows just like an hour-long commercial. I tried, I enjoy talking about tattoos and stuff like that.
Yeah. And pitching books is good. I said that kind of awkward. I didn't mean pitching books.
No. You got to pitch your books. It's about comics. It's about comics. But I also enjoy talking to comic book fans. So that
I become a fan. That's the thing. Is coming into it, I've approached the medium with a lot of humbleness and maybe a little bit of arrogance for my attitude of wanting to kind of smash the rules and expectations going into it. But I've learned to respect why guys are doing it this way, why guys are doing it this way, why there are choices. So I've learned to respect the medium. And then I've been reading a bunch of the books I've backed. I love seeing everyone's
arcade game behind you.
Yeah. The 4-stick arcade. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, with this Paris piece that I drew. So I sent that over to Bancroft one time.
That is cool. Does that work, that Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, it works. Yeah, I love it.
I'm so tempted to buy an arcade game. I want to buy a pinball machine, but man,
this thing's great. I love it. If you're into modding, you can do things with it. But
I want to buy a big pinball. I love pinball, but
yeah, pinballs are great. Oh yeah, the maintenance of those things were nuts. Even back in the day, they were crazy.
Yeah. When we had a pizzeria, we constantly had the repairman before work fixing the pinball machine, he would just do like go up and down, like one vendor would put pinball machines in all the pizzerias and everything, and there was just a guy in a truck that would just pop in every day, get a slice of pizza, and open up and fix it, because they constantly needed repair. That's the only thing that stopped me. I don't know how to fix that stuff. But, I'm gonna get a lot of people saying they gotta leave. I gotta leave too. It's dinner time for me.
Thank you all so much. I
enjoyed this. This was such a pleasant surprise. I didn't know anything about you or your comic except for a couple of images, and man, you got me excited. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm excited. You guys are great. Go eat, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, chat was blowing up. I got my friends messaging me on my phone telling me that guy's comic looks insane. So yeah, so that's cool. And definitely when you're ready to set up your new campaign, come on back. We'll talk about,
Definitely, we'll do. Yeah. Thank you guys again so much. It's been awesome.
My wife is over there going, come on.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.